Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So, first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for all the comments on my last video, which seems like ages and ages ago, and it is. It was like 3 weeks ago, so I'm really sorry about the delay. I have just been a bit busy, but your comments and all your messages and things were just so nice. And it was, I think some of you were like a little bit concerned about me as well. You're like, I can promise you that, I was feeling fine. I think I was just having a bit of like a melodramatic day. Like the next day, trust me, I was happy and right as rain. So it was just that day that I just happened to be a little bit dramatic. But yeah, thank you anyway. It just meant so much for me. And when I had my Manchester interview, which was a couple of days after that, it was, not Manchester, Southampton even, it was so nice. Before I went, I quickly went on the video and looked at the comments, because it's just really nice when you have so many people being like, you can do it, we believe in you, and all of this. Yeah, so just thank you very much. Loads of you guys have been messaging me and when in the comments said how you like that type of video, where it's very much just sit down and me being honest and saying how I'm feeling and how I'm doing, because I think, personally, I enjoy those kind of videos as well, because it's just nice to see how someone's doing. It doesn't necessarily need to be on a topic or like revision tips or anything like, or advice. It's just like a sit down, talking to someone and knowing that you're not the only one in that situation, if that makes sense. And so I kind of just wanted to give like a little update video into how I'm doing. So I'm sure like most of you, I'm also on half term right now, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most boring half term ever, and it's literally just Tuesday. It's basically just me doing work and doing revision, and just, it's not very fun, I'm not gonna lie. I did get my mock results a couple of weeks back, and they were bad, as expected. I wasn't happy with them. I'm not gonna say them, if that's okay. I know someone commented asking, but I don't feel like I want to say it, so if that's okay. But they weren't good, basically. And so I got them, I wasn't happy, I was really annoyed, had to tell my mum, she was not happy either, and it's frustrating. I think, like I said in the video, it was frustrating. You just feel really disappointed in yourself, and you're like, oh, this doesn't reflect what like I want to get. But then again, I kind of looked at it as sort of a, what went wrong and what can I do, kind of like, EBIs and what went well if you do them in school and how to improve on. That's kind of how I took it, and I would say that's probably like the best way to kind of take results. If you did well, brilliant, look what worked and continue doing that. If you didn't do so well, look what perhaps went wrong and how you can avoid that and just try and do better. And my mom gave me this massive, like for half an hour I was just sitting there and she was like, how are we going to make sure you don't get this again? What are you going to do to improve? So I kind of got like a little game plan now. And it's pretty much just preparing early and just working on my exam technique, because personally that's what made me kind of flop. And that's basically what I've just been doing. I've been doing a lot of C3 practice, because that for me was my worst paper by far. And C3 is like a little module in maths, if you like, and it's just awful. It was so disgusting in the mocks, and so that's what I've just been practicing, and I'm proper doing it topic by topic. And it's like, we have 3 months, I think. 3 months? 3, yeah. For a second I thought 2 months and I was going to cry, but it's 3 months till exams start, which isn't a long time, but I feel like as long as I start and I do manageable chunks now, I think it will be fine, hopefully. And so that's kind of what my process is, my plan is from now on. And it's frustrating because it's sort of like, I feel as though I'm sacrificing everything. I don't know about you guys, but I feel as though I'm prioritising my studies a lot higher than I did before. For example, one of my close friends had a really cool party yesterday, and it was so annoying because of my mocks. My mum was like, you can't go. And I brought a dress, I brought shoes, I was so excited to go, basically. And I can see why she said no, because it's kind of like, you didn't do well, you need to revise. And it was frustrating, but I kind of just got over it. And then I was on Snapchat and I just saw all my friends at this party, and it's just the most annoying thing ever. But what can you do? And I'm kind of just seeing it as, from now till June, I'm sacrificing a couple of social events just because I'm like, for the good stuff that's going to happen in the summer and hopefully after summer. It's kind of like sowing the seeds and reaping the rewards later. That's the kind of thing I'm going with. Saying that, I'm definitely still going to see friends. I mean, I see friends in school, but I'm definitely going to still make an effort and still enjoy myself, because I don't think it's good to just kind of focus purely on work, but it's just before it was like a 50-50, now it's like a 70-30, and that 70 being on work. So that's kind of how I'm doing right now, just focusing on mocks, doing papers and stuff. If any of you are wondering, for maths, I mainly use exam solutions because the way that I like to do things is like topic by topic. So I like get a paper, and usually, for example, I've been doing on like modulus and trig, and so I'll focus on that, like revise it, do questions on it, next topic, and then that way I kind of know that I'm good on each topic, and then at the end I'll do a whole paper which has a mix of all the topics, and I can just highlight what I need to improve on. And for me, that's like the best way for maths. For sciences, similar thing. For example, biological molecules and biology, I'll do that. Look at any notes. I kind of don't want to do notes, I kind of just want to go and pass papers straight away for them, but I will do by topics, just because I like to do it by topic, and it feels as though it's a bit more easier to know where I am, if that makes sense. But that's kind of how I'm revising for now. And yeah, I kind of, my next sort of goal, I suppose, is we have like mini mocks in March. So for example, in maths, we'll be sitting about 2-3 papers, and it's things that we still haven't completely covered, and hopefully by March we would have covered. So for example, bio and chem, I think we're going to be doing paper 3 that we didn't do in mocks, we'll be doing it in March. And so my long-term-ish aim is just to do really well and hopefully get an A in those papers. And then my sort of small-term goals right now is like in small topics tests, just trying to do well. For example, I've got a chemistry topics test in about 2 weeks' time, and I'm going to try my hardest to get an A in it. I just want to do, I feel like I almost need to prove myself to my teacher, like, I'm not dumb, miss, I'm not great at exams. That's kind of how I feel. And with maths, for example, we just had 2 topic tests, one in stats, one in core, and I worked so hard for both of them. And they're not really hard topics, to be fair, but still, I put in like 2-3 hours of work per topic, and I got an A star in both of them. I know you can't technically get A stars, but you know what I mean. I dropped like 1 mark in stats and like 2 marks in core, which I was so happy with. And I know it wasn't a hard topic, but it's like, I still did that. And that's the kind of mentality and kind of flow I want to go with things. Just with the small topic tests, just really work hard. And those are my like small-term goals. Then like mid-term goals are mocks. Then long-term goals obviously are the end exams, which are not too far away, sadly. But yes, that's how I'm kind of doing in terms of work. And, you know, hopefully that gives you an idea. And, you know, you don't need to necessarily be using this plan. This is just something that I feel hopefully works for me. In terms of my application for medicine, I'm sure lots of you are wondering. Sadly, I got a rejection from Bristol, which was a pre-interview rejection, meaning that they just saw my personal statement, all my other kind of stuff, and then I got a rejection, which isn't great, but it's like, I got it last Saturday. I was on the way back from work, and I just checked my emails, and it just said, it was like on a Saturday morning, and it was just like, oh, after careful consideration, we are like declining your application, something like that. And I know, surprised that I didn't get really upset. Like, I would have thought I would have been like, oh my God, I'm crying, this is so awful. But I don't, honestly, I was kind of sat there and I was just like, oh, okay. And I don't know if that's because I was already feeling a bit down after mocks. But, you know, I suppose I'm quite lucky in the sense that I had 3 interviews, so 3 out of 4, that's a pretty good thing. I'm happy with it. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. I have friends who only have 1 interview, and it's really tough because they have to ace that interview. And so with 3, I'm okay with that. In terms of why I didn't get an interview, Bristol was really tough, and I knew that was tough because A, their ratio, and not that you should look at ratio, but I'm pretty sure their ratio is like 1 to 20. So like 20 people apply for like that 1 interview or something, or like 1 place. It's really competitive. Number 2, Bristol is about 80% or 70% personal statement and 10% UK CAT. So it means that 1 piece of paper, that whatever, 1,000 words, whatever it is all that, you know, it's so much kind of focus on that. And that, I don't know, it's really tough to ace your personal statement, I think. Whereas with Southampton, Manchester, Newcastle, one of the main reasons I put all of them is because I knew that they liked UK CAT, and as you guys know, I got 790 in my UK CAT, which is a strong score, which is why I personally think I got interviews, because it was like, strong score, they like strong scores, so I get an interview. Whereas with Bristol, they're very much personal statement and 10% UK CAT, which is really small, so Clearly it didn't have as much weight as the others, so I kind of knew it was a risk from day one. You know, I know in the back of my head, if I applied to like Sheffield or King's, I probably could have got an interview with my school, but it's like, I took a risk, it didn't pay off, oh well. And as long as I don't get 3 other rejections from the others, I think I'll be okay with it. So yeah, that is how it is. And in terms of hearing back from Manchester, Newcastle, Southampton, haven't heard anything, which is so frustrating. I have about 4 or 5 friends now who have offers, and I'm like, I just want an offer. This is like relatable to anyone who's going for medicine or dentistry, because every other course seems to have been giving off their offers just like that. But I'm here waiting, refreshing my emails every 10 minutes. I'm just like, maybe now. But also, I don't know, I'm a mix of, I'm really excited, I just want to see if I get an offer, but also I'm really worried that I'm going to get another rejection. I don't know if that's any of you guys, but ever since I got the Bristol rejection, it's like, do I really want to check my emails? It could be another rejection. So I'm trying to be optimistic, because I'm being like, oh, maybe it's an offer and not a rejection. But I don't know, it's just frustrating. It's just like, that's all I want right now is an offer. This uncertainty of September is just very frustrating, I think. Yeah, but I'm not too worried, because I don't think those 3 unis have given out offers yet. I know Birmingham have, Nottingham have, some others as well, so I'm not worried yet. I know my parents, it's so annoying. I don't know about you guys, but my parents keep asking me have you not heard back yet? Has anyone else heard back yet? And it's like, Mum, look, when I get one, I'll tell you. And until then, it's literally just a waiting game. And it's so annoying. But that's how medicine is. Oh, and also, before I forget, on BBC Two, there is a really, really good TV show, or little documentary series called Hospital. It is so, so good. It's a bit similar to Casualty, if any of you watch that. I don't, but apparently it's similar to that. It's basically a documentary in which every single week there's a 1-hour episode where they go into a hospital in the NHS. It's usually the one in Charing Cross or Westminster, and they just do a whole 24, 48 hours in that hospital, and it is so good. It's really, really interesting. I think definitely for any future medicine applicants or any current medicine applicants, it's really worth the watch. I've been watching it every single week for a month, and it's so interesting. It basically goes about, for example, things like prioritising patients and any complications in surgery. And, I have cried so many times watching it. I mean, it's easy for me to cry, but still, it's really emotional. There are high points, low points, and it's so interesting. And I just think it just makes you value the NHS. I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, it's such a crazy good service. It's not perfect, but it's really good. So I definitely recommend you to watch it. And I even spoke about it in my Southampton interview when we did our group task. I mentioned a point about privatisation that I literally had learnt from the documentary, because I was like, oh well, actually and I don't know whether that gives me extra credit or anything, but I don't know, I just felt I inputted a new kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of how it was, and I definitely recommend you watch it. BBC iPlayer, BBC Two, Hospital. There are probably 4 or 5 episodes. They're really good. Go watch it. It's really interesting. And also in terms of my Southampton interview, I think it went well. I hope it went well. I feel like it did. I came out and I was like, I'm happy. It was a panel one with 2 people, and it was mainly just talking about my personal statement. And then the second one was a group task, which was just discussion. And yeah, I'm happy with how it went. I feel like this is a really long video, I'm sorry, but it's been 3 weeks. And that's basically how I've been doing. Please do let me know, how are you guys doing? Have you got your offers yet? Are you still waiting? Are you dealing with rejection? Join the club. All my social media is at Manisha P on Instagram and Twitter. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to The Student Room. And I shall see you sometime soon. Bye!